Hello, this is Adam YJ again, and as I said before, I'd be doing some storytelling on this site. And I thought I'd do one of the first stories I ever told at a storytelling club I belong to. It's The Hare and the Hedgehog from Grimm's Fairy Tales. Now once, a long time ago, on a little farm in Germany, on a bright Sunday morning, Mr. Hedgehog was taking a walk. Now, he was going off to see his turnip patch. Well, it wasn't quite his turnip patch, but since he lived close by it, he thought of it as his own. Now, as he's taking this walk, who should he run into but Mr. Hare? Now, Mr. Hare was a proud, haughty individual who liked to point out the flaws in other people. Mr. Hare sees Mr. Hedgehog and says, "Well, hello there, Pincushion. What are you doing this morning?" Hedgehog just looks at him and says, "Mr. Hare, I'm taking a walk." The Hare says, "A walk, huh? Those stubby little legs, you might want to turn around now so you can get back home before nightfall." Now, this rankled Mr. Hedgehog because, being a hedgehog, he naturally had short legs. That's just the way they were built. So, the hedgehog turned to the Hare and said, "Well, Mr. Hare, I bet my little legs could beat your long legs in a race." The Hare said, "Well, is that a fact?" "Now, all right, let's do it. To make it interesting, how about a wager? If I win, I get your turnip patch. If you win, you get my cabbage patch." The Hedgehog said, "That sounds fair." "All right, let's do it. Let's race." The Hedgehog said, No. I haven't had breakfast yet. Let me go home and have breakfast, and then we'll have a race." So, Mr. Hedgehog walked back home, had breakfast, and he told his wife about what had happened. And she was mad. Said, "How could you possibly have challenged that hare to a race? There's no way you could beat him." Mr. Hedgehog just said, "Come with me. I have a plan." So, the race was to begin. They were going to use the long field as their race course. And each of the contestants would be in one of the furrows, one of the ditches that's dug between the rows of plants. Hare was in one, the hedgehog was in another. So they were on their mark, they were set, the signal was given, and off they went. The hare seemed to jump out to an amazing lead. He ran and ran and got to the end, but then who should pop out from the other furrow but a hedgehog? Said, "I'm here already. It's nice of you to finally get here." The hare stopped and said, No way. There's no way this is happening. We should run again." They turn around, on their mark, get set, off they went. The hare starts bounding down the field twice as fast, gets to the end, and who should pop out of the furrow but a hedgehog. Said, "Oh, you slowed up a little on that one. But you're finally here. I won. Good race." They said, "No, we do it again." Turned around, and off they went. This time the hare, not slowing up at all, got to the end, and Hedgehog popped out of the other furrow and said, "Well, you're really slowing down. You might be tired. You might want to rest a little bit." The hare said, "No, we keep going." And the hare kept running back and forth and back and forth, speeding up every time. Now, the hare was not an expert on the way that hedgehogs looked, so he didn't seem to notice that it was Mr. Hedgehog at one end of the furrow and Mrs. Hedgehog at the other. But he kept running and running until finally, completely spent, completely exhausted, he fell down and collapsed in the middle of the field. So the race was over. The hedgehog had won. And from that day forth, he had both a nice little turnip patch and a nice little cabbage patch to feed his family for the rest of his days. The end. All right, that's it. Like I said, it's from Grimm's Fairy Tales. If you want more stories like this, I'll be uploading more. But you can also find them in the local library. Folklore and Fairy Tales is 398.2 in the nonfiction section. And I hope to get some comments, and I hope to see people back here to listen to more stories. Thanks.